Welcome everyone to Steam Powered Stories, a story time driven by a science, technology, engineering, art, or math component. I'm Yvonne, a children's librarian at the Manchester City Library, and every week we will read a book and do an activity powered by STEAM and inspired by the Manchester City Library's summer reading program, which is Tales and Tales. These are designed for grades 3 to 5, but if you enjoy them, then we are glad that you came. All right. Let's get started with this week's STEAM-powered story. Hello everyone, and welcome to our last week of STEAM-powered stories, Summer Reading Edition. This week we are going to be talking about animal adaptations, and so I want to share with you All Ears, All Eyes by Richard Jackson and illustrated by Catherine Tilson. I also want to say thank you to Simon & Schuster for allowing us to share this book with you today. All right, let's get into it. What sails, what flies? Those, these, down low, nearby, far off, up high. Who listens? Who looks? Some beautiful illustration going on. Very minimal. Who hears? Who sees? All ears, all eyes. By Richard Jackson, illustrated by Catherine Tilson. It gets really cool when sort of the story starts kind of before the story starts. This is the dedication to Nancy with my love, to Adam, Tess, and the memory of Sam, and to Kelsey and Alexander with our love, RJ, and to Bob with love, KT. An owl hoots in our dimming woods. You guys see the owl? Woo-hoo! Raccoon at sundown, romping. Another, her brother, he's chomping. All right, can you guys see the animals they're talking about? They're definitely there. What scoots between roots? All ears, a bat flies, wings whirring. Deer here. We've got what scoots between roots? All ears, bat flies. Deer here. Did you see all three animals? As light falls and night rises, what surprises, what singing? Flying squirrels, could be boys, could be girls. Crick, crick, crickets creeing in the thick thickets. Woohoo! See the owl and the crickets. A fox flees, bark, bark, barking. Chipmunks shirring, harking in the tree trunks. One mouse, two, me, you, all eyes. Wink, and there are fireflies everywhere, flicking, flashing in midair. Fox, mouse, owl, bat, this and that. Was that a cat? In our deep, dark woods. Where? It's an owl and a fox. What else do you see? There. Shh. See it? Hear it? Whoo, whoo. Tree frog agog, scree, scree, scream, on a log, agog. Owls call, bats whir, frogs peep, crickets chirr, foxes bark, blur, moon pales among trees. See everyone? It's a hard one. Comes a breeze, they bend and bow, and behind these, beyond those, deep in the dark, near to the brimming now. Nature's arc glows, gathers, tiny and tall, splendid and small. And sails us all to sleep. The end. All right, so we still have our activity to wrap up our summer reading programs edition of STEAM Powered Stories. Hope to see you guys there. Hey everyone, so for our the activity portion of our STEAM Powered Story this week, we're going to be experimenting actually with ear shape. In our book, All Ears, All Eyes, we definitely heard a lot of sounds that different animals make. And if we were out in the wild, these sounds could really be helpful either in helping us find food or helping us avoid being food. So as you may know, sound waves travel through the air as vibrations. And they go into your ear, and in the inner ear, your eardrum, kind of vibrates with those vibrations when they're hit. And then that vibration gets translated in your brain into a sound. So what we are going to explore today is actually the outside of your ear, sometimes called the pinnae. And so this part of the ear doesn't actually have anything to do with the hearing itself, but it is shaped to collect sound. So the human ear, if you look at your ear, or take a look at mine here, has some like very peculiar folds in it, right? And that's actually to help us hear the sort of range of volume that like a normal human speaking voice is at, because that is what we are most interested in, and also to sort of help prevent other sounds from overwhelming us. So other animals also have other ear shapes that are going to help them listen in and pay attention to the sounds that are most important to them. So if you guys get some pieces of paper, possibly some paper plates, we are actually going to experiment with ear shapes. It's also helpful if you guys have a phone or a sibling a friend or family member, really anything that can make a sound when you need it. And like I said, that can be another actual person. It can be a phone or any other sort of um, radio, stereo, anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and make a few different ear shapes so that we can test this out. So if you have some paper, some tape, we may need some scissors later on. So the first one we're going to do is we are going to roll this into a cone shape. So sort of like a princess hat or like an old-fashioned hearing aid, if you've seen like an ear trumpet before. All right, so we want to have kind of like a larger mouth, and then it's going to come down to a smaller shape that can fit in your ear. But remember, don't stick anything like actually into your inner ear because that can cause damage. So when we put this to our ear, we are going to be gentle and make sure not to shove. And also, if you are doing this with friends or siblings, don't roughhouse too much because we don't want anyone to be hurt. But this is an example. See, it can kind of fit into the opening of my ear. And we're going to make 2 of these. And then we're going to make an ear shape that is kind of similar to an elephant ear. I'm going to take 2 pieces of like construction paper or whatever you have, and I'm going to sort of cut out an elephant ear sort of shape. It's just going to be kind of big and flappy. All right, and finally, we're going to take our paper plates. And this one has some dried paint on it, but it's still going to work well for what I'm doing. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut out about a quarter. So like if you wanted to, you could draw lines, cutting this into 4 pieces. And we're basically going to cut out one of those pieces. And now we are going to take the edges of those, the pieces that we just cut out, and we're going to kind of bring them together and tape them in place. And these guys, if you want, you can cut this little very tip off if you want, if you need to have a little bit more room for the sound to actually come through, because we don't want the paper plate itself to be stopping the noise. Okay, so now you've got 3 different sets of ears. We've got our paper plates, we've got our elephant ears, and we have got our sort of directional ear trumpets. Okay, so now is when you take your phone or speaker or friend or sibling or family member and you test out how these different ear shapes affect a noise that is coming from a specific direction. And try to think about what kind of animals have these kind of ear shapes and why they might have developed them that way, depending on how you hear the noise when you're using them. All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this week's steam-powered story and our look into animal adaptations and ear shapes, as well as our lovely book, All Ears, All Eyes. Also, I want to remind you guys that this is the last week of our summer reading program, Tales and Tales, so go ahead and make sure to record all of the reading minutes that you guys have done this week. Remember, that can be reading you've done by yourself, um, any books that you have listened to, or any audiobooks. All of that stuff counts. And make sure you get that all turned in so that it can go towards all of our final raffle tickets, and you can finish up getting all the coupons that you have earned. All right, then. I guess this is it for our Steam Powered Server Summer Reading Edition. I think that there will be a little break in our Steam Powered stories before we pick back up for the fall. So I really hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your summer. Keep reading and keep experimenting. There's a lot out there to learn. All right, guys. Bye.